All right, welcome guys to the first weekly, hopefully weekly episode of Scarves and Spikes Ratings Edition. We're going to be going in after the match and picking out a few players and just giving our personal opinion. That's all it is, personal opinion. Everybody has one on how the player did during the previous match. And we'll be releasing these on Sunday. So it'll be a good time. We're here to have fun. We're just going to have a good time with it. But we wanted to kind of introduce this, let you guys know what it was all about, and get going. So, Sydney, Tommy, welcome.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right,
ready to go.
Board.
We got our whiteboards. Here we go.
Got mine too.
First player. Got to go with the goal scorer, Matheus Rossetto. So, write down your number. By the way, these are on a scale of 1 to 10, and
Yes.
there is no hard, fast rule or format to this other than pick a number that you like.
If you would have told me 2 weeks ago, like what I would be putting on this board right now for this player, nobody would ever believe me.
Yeah. I've got to personally apologize, I think, but all right,
Well, let's get him up here.
here we go.
Here we go.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, you put a point
Pretty
too.
I
solid.
put a decimal too.
I would just wanted to be different.
Oh, well, now you're just like me. I mean, I'm just like you. No, I mean, look, Rossetto had a really good game. He had a really good first game too, I think. And I'll be the first one to say I'm happy to eat my words about the pairing of Rossetto and Ibarra. I want them to succeed so bad. It just seemed like going back into last year, they were having trouble pairing together. But since we had that episode a couple of weeks ago, there's been little things that have come out about, Ibarra in training last week, talking about how he prefers to play as the 6, and sometimes he was being pushed to play as an 8 last year, and that didn't really work out for him. And Rossetto talked last night in the locker room about how he has been working with Pineda to make more forward movements, more forward passes, and I mean, it paid off last night. Like, was the shot a great shot? No, but it took a deflection and it ended up in the back of the net. And I wrote it in an article today on Dirty South, the quotes article, but I always go back to the old adage of like, if you don't like fishing, if you don't ever put your line in the water, you're never going to catch a fish. And if you don't ever take a shot, you're never going to score a goal. So
Wayne Gretzky and Michael Scott say that.
There you look at that. So
Tommy Moose.
So, yeah, I'm happy for him, man. I think it's great.
I think we're 5 goals away from Jason. I think Jason said a total of 6, a combination of goals and assists. He said 6. We're getting close.
Just got to start off somewhere.
Right. Who's next?
Franco Ibarra, number 6 destroyer.
Franco Ibarra.
All righty. Everybody ready?
Yep.
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Oh, we're close.
Another 8.2 and a set. Oh, he got a 0.5. Man, y'all. All right, so Sydney, you went up. Tommy,
Yeah.
you stayed the same. I went down a little bit.
And
I
I'm just
raced
gonna
it, and I was
say,
like, let's just do it again.
yeah. I just want to say real quick, 10 is perfection, and I know the word perfection that was used by Gonzalo Pineda. A lot of fans on Twitter were pretty PO'd that he used the word perfection. And I don't want to rabbit trail off of that, but yeah, I don't think that Ibarra was perfect by any stretch of the imagination. He had a really good game. Game, and he was one of those players like Rossetto who was really getting hammered by Atlanta United fans and maybe a couple of people on this podcast too. But he, no, he's taking a lot of criticism for sure. He's taking a lot of criticism, but yeah, kind of like Rossetto, I think he has really done very well in these first couple of matches of the season. And with Sosa coming back or being available for selection on Saturday against Charlotte FC, it's going to be interesting to see how Gonzalo Pineda approaches that midfield selection. Does he stick with Ibarra and Rossetto, or does he fit Sosa in there somehow? So really interested to see what he says in training this week and how he approaches that topic, especially considering how Ibarra and Rossetto by extension have been playing thus far early on.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, when they're all in form, it's a great problem to have. And I mean, Ibarra, look, I'll say it again. I'll be the first one to eat my words. I know they both have the talent. I just didn't think that they were going to do well working together. And I'm so happy to see that they've had 2 games now in a row. So you're developing consistency where they both are doing pretty phenomenal jobs. Ibarra is laying some hands on some folks in midfield, and it's great to see. I mean, he ended up with a yellow card yesterday, so maybe ding a couple of decimal points on that one. But like, that's you want your guy in midfield as that defensive midfielder, as that 6 going in and making guys a little scared to do certain things. So kudos to him.
They spent more time looking to see if that was a red than if that was a goal or not.
Yeah, for real. I can't wait to get to that part of this conversation. All right. Third one, Derrick Etienne.
This might be a little lower because he didn't play the whole match.
Yeah. Yep. I was debating on whether or not I wanted to use another decimal point, and I did. So, all right, everybody ready?
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Oh, look at us.
I almost went with a 7 too. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
777s. Dang. I almost feel like I gotta fix this now.
I know he's not on here, but Caleb Wiley's not someone there. I'd put Caleb Wiley right around that point too. I thought both of them had a fantastic game. Caleb's, while he still makes the mistakes here and there, that left side is just beautiful so far this season. I've enjoyed every combination that they've had so far.
Yeah, and Etienne, like to that same extent, like Wiley, he's been training with the team starting off the season. Etienne has been easing his way back into it. Yes, he got signed back in December, but he wasn't really fully training with the team until fairly recently. So for him to come in and integrate so well, come in and make a big difference, I think it's great. A 6.8 or a 7 or whatever. Like, again, these are the unofficial ratings, but like, I think that's solid. That is very solid. So I'm happy with what I see out of him. I think he's going to do great. I can't wait to see him start.
Yeah. Maybe as soon as Saturday against Charlotte.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Moving on to somebody that somehow has become even better, I think. Miles Robinson.
Good to go.
All righty. Yep. Oh, look at that.
Okay.
God, I did not think I was going to be the harsh one out of all of
Dang,
them.
Tyler.
Nothing to be harsh about. I think that he's looked great. He's moving well. It looks like he's gotten faster, and his passes have been on the mark. At this point, I almost thought about giving him a 10 because of the injury situation and him coming back and not looking out of place at all. I mean, he's looking like the player that was. He's looking better than what he did last year in that short time before the injury. Like he's looked the best he has in 2 years.
And that's scary for MLS if he can be half the player that he was before the injury. And so far, through 2 matches, small sample size, it looks like that he is on that path, which is a testament to the Atlanta United medical staff and the medical staff that was taking care of him during his injury. So really happy to see Miles, A, back out there, and B, enjoying the kind of form that he enjoyed before getting injured. I think that's going to be a big piece of the puzzle for Atlanta United. And I think it'll be interesting to see how that partnership with Abraham occurs once he gets in. I think Abraham is their first choice center back next to Miles. So how those two gel will be a big part of how this team does, I think, in 2023.
please stay in Atlanta, Miles. Please. we don't want you to go anywhere.
The way he's playing, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yep.
is what it is.
Yeah, it'd be what it be. It'll be a sad day, but it's wherever he goes, it's going to be well deserved. The guy, I never expected to see him come out and even come close relatively to the athleticism that he had beforehand. And just like, I remember making a comment in the press box last night. I don't know if you heard me, Sydney, but I was like, he chased down, I don't remember if it was Bernadeschi, because Bernadeschi was more on the other side, but he chased down somebody that kind of had a little bit of a jump and made it look easy. And it's just, that's what you get out of him. He was a great, great center back. Next up, Brooks Lennon.
Brooks.
I felt like this was going to be wildly all over the place.
I wrote my answers down so quick for all these, and this one is, oh man.
All right, I got mine.
I got mine.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
Sure.
Here we go.
Dang, Tommy.
With the face and
3.1.
everything.
Yeah, you have to, that's a frowny face. To quote the great Albert Einstein, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Does that sum up the game for him?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I was gonna say it's
Sydney.
frustrating just seeing, kind of the same crosses over and over again. And it was good to see him get in some advanced areas at times with inside the box, but you need much more from Brooks Lennon than you're getting from him. And again, as I've said numerous times today or during this episode, it's a small sample size, but still you need so much more from him than he's offering. And we've seen this time and time again with Brooks. And again, we want to be fair to the players, but we also don't want to not be afraid to maybe point to a player saying, hey, we need more from you. And I think Brooks is one of those players. He's not getting the ball where it needs to be. And it's just frustrating to see that. You know, I'm sure the fans are frustrated to see that. I'm sure Giakoumakis, once he gets into the mix, and we'll talk about it a little bit later on, it'll frustrate him when he's not getting service from that side of the field. So we just need much, much more from Brooks than what he's offering right now. So I'm not too prepared to give him a 3.1 like you did, Tommy, but I think that 5 is relatively fair, to say the least. It might be a little higher than, a little bit higher, a tiny bit higher than he deserves. He wasn't terrible by any stretch, but you still need a lot more from him on that side.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I gave the higher rating, I think, because one of my biggest things has always been unpredictability with him. And yeah, like you're saying, Tommy, there's times, like there's a lot of times when he does a lot of the same thing and he is very predictable. But he had a couple of little off the ball runs. There was one where he ended up in the box last night in a very, very prime position to take a shot. I think a lot of it's going to have to do with his chemistry with Araujo. I hope that they can develop that a little more to where they both can become a little more unpredictable. And that's gonna be something they've got to develop together. So, but I don't know. I like Brooks, and I think he's got it. But I agree with you, Sydney. I mean, you just got to ask a little more out of him. All right, so moving to the next one. The Greek himself, Giorgos Giakoumakis.
While we do this, I do want to note that in the press box on Saturday, they're serving Greek salad.
Yes.
Which
Yes, there was.
kind of ironic to say the least.
Yeah, to say that wasn't planned by the staff at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, got to give them credit. All righty. Everybody ready?
I'm ready. Yep.
I feel like I should have gave him higher.
What?
Wow, okay.
Aye.
Wow.
The goals should have counted.
Well, that was why I gave him a 9, because the dude scored a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he scored a goal. We can sit here and talk about the offside call and all this other crap, but the fact that he got on the end of not just that one, but a couple of solid opportunities. He's part of two really good breaks that happened. He did everything that he has been advertised to do, I think. And though it was only 25, 30 minutes, I think there's lots to be excited about. So I'm very hot on Giakoumakis right now.
I do need to qualify my answer because I know I'll get hammered in the comments. He was really good. He was really good. I don't want to take anything away from him. The offside call looked marginal, to put it kindly. I think it was a really good first experience for him. I mean, he only has one training session with Atlanta United under his belt after getting in late Thursday night. So due to that, and due to the fact that, let's say even if the goal didn't count, it may be closer to an 8, I guess, if the goal counted, and even if it didn't count. But I want to see a full, maybe half from him, a full 75 minutes, 90 minutes from him before I actually put a grade to him, because it's even with kind of the goal, no goal, it's tough to judge him based on the limited amount of time he had on the field and the limited training he's had with Atlanta United.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah, I would have gave him a 9, honestly, just thinking about the situation of just everything he said, Sydney. He's been out of the country. He comes back, has a light practice with them on Friday, and then comes in and, plays more minutes than what he probably should have. And, did a decent job.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. That brings us to our last one. The referees /pro/VAR.
Oh, man.
I should amend the ratings. We said 0 to 10, but I might change that up a little bit for this one.
Yeah, I'm almost done. All right, I'm
Writing
ready.
a chapter.
Write the entire book here.
I wrote an article. So irritated. All right, here we go.
Let's do it. Oh my gosh.
It wasn't even the whole VAR situation where they barely. He should have went to the monitor, but there were a couple plays there. I think the Ibarra tackle that would have caused a 4-on-2 at that time. No, it was all ball.
Yeah, we've talked about it on the Twitter Spaces show after the post match last year a lot. We've hit on it a little bit in our show, though we're just getting into the season, so it hasn't happened a lot this year. But y'all know my pet peeve with refs is consistency. If you're going to call a hard game, call a hard game, but call it the same the whole way through. If you're not, you're going to let them play, fine, but do it the same way the whole way through. And that's part of my issue. The other part is the blatant offside deal. Like that drives me crazy. And until I see the sideline cam that VAR used to determine it was offside or not, I'm not going to be convinced otherwise that Parada was not onside. Like it is what it is, right? You can't go back and do anything about it now. But what irritates me is for so long, these linesmen have been told, don't raise up the flag unless you know for sure that it's that it's offside. If not, let them play on and then, throw the flag up. So that's been going on for however long now. You let these players run, sometimes 30, 40 yards on a play that was clearly offside and they didn't throw up a flag. And then last night you have Parada, who was not offside. The flag immediately goes up and Giakoumakis scores. Then we go back and we hold play on kickoff for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, waiting to have VAR check it. And then the head ref doesn't even go and take a look at the monitor. And that's where I get irritated, because if you're going to hold play that long, clearly there's evidence that needs to be looked at by the one person on the pitch that has the ability to say yay or nay. And I think that would do a lot to fix the way the fans feel about it. It would do a lot to say, hey, the players, have them feel a little bit better about it. And my hot take of the freaking day, I guess, is in terms of accountability, the refs are never going to be held accountable the way things are right now. I feel like you get an opportunity like that where they probably should go take a look and they don't. And then you find out after the fact that their call and that the VAR call on the field was wrong. They should be fined. So
at least
the players can't talk about it. They get fined. Why can't the refs get fined?
Yeah, Pineda was really measuring his words in the press conference. He essentially saying that we can tell the referees are always right, and it was Doug that asked him, was Peralta offsides, and Pineda said something effective, we can tell the referees are always right, but if you see another angle, let me know. So really choosing his words carefully, trying not to get fined, but obvious how he felt, really obvious how he felt, and VAR is always going to be a hot topic that we see all the time from the UK where goals get called back. I'm like, and I'm exaggerating, an eighth of an inch offsides or something like that. While you like to have VAR as part of the game, just to make sure that calls are being made fairly, calls are being made correctly, there's a lot of over officiating and overdone things when it comes to VAR. But a lot of times it gets underutilized, and I think maybe yesterday was an example of it being not utilized. I don't really put that on Nima Sagafi. I put that on the VAR for not saying, hey, you have to take a look at this in the monitor. So I feel like blame is shared on both parties.
Yeah.
But VAR is not perfect at all. No one will say that it's perfect. It's still got a lot of work to be done, and we've heard coaches overseas and even coaches in MLS really have a lot to say negative about it. So I think the system itself is okay, but it's not being utilized properly. And MLS and Pro really need to find a way to make sure that VAR is being used properly and consistently across the board. You can have more and more examples of this where calls that can really change a match can go either in your favor or not in your favor. So that's kind of my 2 cents on it.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a text, Sydney. You've just been fined $3,000 by Pro.
Oh,
so
if he got fined $3,000, I don't know what I'm about to get fined, because I probably went in.
We'll start a GoFundMe. We'll
exactly.
We'll get it paid for you.
Please help us. That was a good time. This, again, guys, this is something we're going to do every Sunday after every game, because we'll have the Wednesday games in the season and all that. So I think for every Saturday game, you can expect this the day after. We have Sunday games. You can probably expect it on Monday, but it's just something fun we're going to do from here on out. Have a good time. Have another quick video for you guys to check out during the week, and kind of in between the game and our regular show on Wednesdays at 7. So
yeah, and let's send a tweet out next week, and we'll ask everyone else who they want us to rate.
Exactly. And we are not the single source of truth, so definitely please let us know in the comments whether you agree, disagree with us. With your own thoughts, your own ratings in the comments. This is never meant to be a one-way thing. We want to hear from you. We love to hear from our viewers, our listeners. So please let us know in the comments. Let us know on Twitter what you think, whether you agree, disagree, and we love to hear that feedback.
Absolutely. All right, Scarves and Spikes, everybody. We will see y'all again on Wednesday.
See you on Wednesday.
Take care.